Welcome everybody, Jack here from Ginger Bets, and this week I'm previewing the Players' Championship taking place at TPC Sawgrass exclusively for sportspub.com. In this more detailed video, I'm going to be looking at the course, breaking down the key skill sets required and bringing you my best outright selections, so stay tuned for that. It's coming your way in the next 5 minutes. But before I do that, may I encourage you, if you're new to sportspub.com, new to these videos, head over to the sportspub.com website straight after this video. There you're going to find details on how to register for the full Ginger Bets Golf Betting Insights weekly package. There's so much more than I can bring you in this short video. There's top 20 selections, there's outsiders to consider, first round leader picks, 3-ball action Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The 2-ball action is covered. This is well-researched information to save you time, make you more informed and give you an edge over the bookmakers in the USA. So head over to sportspub.com straight after this video. So let's get into this week's video, the Players' Championship, and let's have a look at the course and those skill sets and bring you those outright selections. So the course itself, TPC Sawgrass, a par 72, a standard layout, 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s, and the rest made up of par 4s, some of those quite demanding, 6 from 450 to 500 yards. In terms of off the tee, it's not too painful for the players, fairly generous in terms of the rough this week, so players can miss the fairways and still attack these pins. We'll come on to that in the skill sets required section. The greens are Bermuda grass putting surfaces, which the players enjoy. They should be silky smooth and there'll be no excuse for the players this week. In terms of a winning score, I'm expecting mid to high teens. I think that the course this time of year will be softer than it was previously in May when this tournament was held in the past, and therefore I'm expecting a winning score of 15 under par or better. So let's have a look at the key skill sets required for the player that's going to lift your trophy on Sunday night. He's going to have to dial in these key areas. And first off, it's strokes gained tee to green. You're not going to find your game at TPC Sawgrass. You're going to have to bring it to the party this week. So what we're looking for is players that have shown some recent form across all areas of the game, but most certainly tee to green performance. When making your selections, you want to look for players that have got a top 20 in the last 3 or 4 starts. That's been a good guide to being successful at the Players' Championship. So tee to green performance is going to be the foundation of our research this week. Then we're going to look at green in regulations gained and simply why 6 of the last 9 winners have ranked in the top 5 for green in regulations gained on that given week. Then want to look at proximity to the hole, strokes gained approach from 100 to 150 yards. To win this event, you have to take advantage of the birdie opportunities that will present themselves. So on the short par 4s, on the par 5s, when you've got wedge in hand, short iron in hand, you're going to have to dial it in, hit it close to that pin and make birdies. That's how you win these events that are 14, 15, 16, 17 under par. Then want to look at bogey avoidance. Again, if you're making bogeys this week, you're going to be going backwards on that leaderboard. So you're going to have to look for players that generally keep their game in good order throughout all 18 holes for all 4 rounds. We want players that make minimal bogeys, then protect their scorecard, and then when those birdies that we've just touched upon present themselves, they take advantage. And last but not least, it's strokes gained on the Bermuda grass putting surfaces. Let's have a look at players who excel and certainly in a good form with the flat stick. They're the key skill sets. Now get into these outright selections. Well, those of you that have tuned in early this week may be familiar with the headline selection. He's the most consistent golfer in the world. He's got wins galore over the last 18 months. He's a 2-time major champion, and I think that he's got outstanding chance this week. Statistically, he sets up incredibly well. First in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds. Second in tee to green performance over the last 24 rounds. 4th in green in regulations gained. There's not much that we don't like about that. 14 to 1 bet. MGM's the place. Colin Morikawa will headline the portfolio. Second up, another American who's bubbling under the surface for sure this year. He's got 5 top 20s in his last 6 events. Statistically, he's not jumping off the page, but he's certainly got some solid stats behind him. 7th in strokes gained approach from 100 to 150 yards over the last 24 rounds on tour. He's 8th in green in regulations gained, and he's also in the top 10 for strokes gained, tee to green performance over the last 24 rounds, but it's his price that entices me this week. He's usually 20, 22 to 1, 28 to 1, but MGM's the place. Xander Schauffele is the man. Take advantage. I think he goes off 25 to 1 later in the week. Third selection of the week is a player that has top 10s already this year. He has 3 of them, and despite injury where he missed a few weeks, he bounced back to form with a top 5 finish recently at the Genesis. He didn't quite get over the line. He fell apart on day 4, but his game is in such a good place right now. The most consistent it's been in his career. He dials it in off the tee. He's really accurate. His iron game is elite right now, in the top 5 in the world over the last 24 rounds on tour. Daniel Berger, 28-1. BetMGM's the place to go and get it. Again, I think he goes off 25-1 across the board. Take advantage of those odds right now. Fourth up is another player that I think is bubbling under the surface. He plays the Pete Dye courses really well. Third in strokes gained tee to green performance on the last 24 rounds on Pete Dye tracks. 7th in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds on Pete Dye tracks. Again, these are really key factors in determining if a player has a chance of winning this week. And statistically, this guy is really marrying up for a good performance. He's 10th in strokes gained off the tee, which again is a really important factor at this track. Patrick Cantlay, 22-1. BetMGM's the place. I think he has an outstanding chance. And then to go a bit further down the leaderboard is another previous winner here. He's a player that has been here 19 times, made the cut on 17 occasions with 4 top 10s, and he's shown real consistency in his game right now. He's 8th in par 4 scoring, 9th in tee to green performance over the last 24 rounds on tour. 3rd in strokes gained scrambling, and 6th in bogey avoidance. His game's in really good shape, and he's putting, which is often the criticism that he gets. He's gained strokes putting in each of his last 4 events. Adam Scott, 50-1, will round out the portfolio for Ginger Bets. Good luck with all your wagers this week, and may I encourage you, before I go, to head over to sportspub.com, where you can get access to the Ginger Bets Golf Betting Insights weekly package, which is sure to help you, make you more informed when you're placing your golf wagers, provide you an edge over the bookmakers, and give you more winners. Thanks for listening. Bye from me.